Well, folks, tomorrow, that's right, the big day tomorrow. Get to vote. Whether your vote means something or not, who the hell knows? Are they gonna rig another election and steal stuff? I mean, when courts come out and say, "Oh, there's no such thing, didn't happen," and everybody comes out and says it didn't happen, and blah blah blah. Well, it's hard for me to imagine that when more people voted than are registered. It should say something right there. Something's wrong. But hey, they would have buried their head in the sand. See, I'm trying to be nice. I didn't say up their ass, but that's what they do. They want to cover things up. They want to act like everything's okay. You know, it's funny too that a day or two ago I watched Levine. Smart guy, you know, for the most part. But he's coming out talking about the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights and Constitution and things like that. Which I've talked about that stuff, videos, old videos. And he was talking about how, if you don't like your government, you have the right to throw it off and the oppression and this and that. And then he's coming down on Harris like, we're supposed to go along with your BS and the way you think things should be and so on and so forth. If you could trust your elections, and she did get voted in fair and square, well, Levine, they followed the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and Bill of Rights and the rest of it. Even though I may not agree with it, you may not agree with it, and older generations and whoever else don't agree with it, doesn't matter. If it was a fair election. You see, this is what our problem is, and I've talked about this. Our children and such are undermining us. They went to college to these liberal, they're not even think tanks, they're just indoctrination. And these kids come out more screwed up than when they went in. And they believe all this stuff, the bullshit these professors, liberal professors, and well, hell, some of them are just losers. They were just plain out communists and everything else. And they go in there and they listen to this dribble. And they take it to heart. And they're still they're idiots when they went out and they're bigger idiots when they came out. Well, when they went in, they're idiots, and when they came out, they're bigger idiots. And that's what's happening. It took generations to get this bad. And that's what they've been doing in these schools for generations now. So you're losing your country to the children you raised, and to your grandkids, and so on and so forth. Well, it can't stand. It'll fold up. It'll crash. It won't be here. It won't be anything that you and I even ever recognized, and you don't even want to be here. Just let the cards fall where they may. unlike the Jews, I will defend myself and I will protect myself. I'm not going to go out and do anything stupid. I'm not going to go out and do anything dumb. I'll mind my own business. Not harm anyone, do anything to anyone. But I will defend myself if I need to. That's all you can do, folks. Only come at you like they did the Jews and so many others and the slaves that they brought over on ships and so on and so forth. You have every right to defend yourself. And their bullshit lies about their lawful order shit and this and that. It's a bunch of, just again, bunch of lies. They're idiots. The people that are telling them this stuff know better, but they just tell them and they believe it because they're that generation. And when things turn in this country, and they will, and everything goes to hell, and it will, and your global one world government kicks in, and your digital currency, and a whole bunch of other things, well, those people will be outnumbered. Because they'll have the police demonized really well by then. And that's what they're doing now. But the police are too stupid to understand it. Say, the police can diffuse this stuff, but they choose not to. Like I said, I've talked about all this before. This should be nothing new to anybody that follows me. You took an oath to uphold the Constitution as God, and you swore to God to do that. They're making you a criminal. You are a criminal. And that's some kind of sin, too. To swear under God to the oath and not follow. You're screwed. Like I said, hell, probably 95% of the people in this world will not make it to heaven, me included. Why? Well, you're going to have to make choices. And they're not good choices. They're just bad from bad to worse. That's all. Just bad to worse. Because they're relentless, because Satan is relentless. But they don't understand their Father. I understand Satan very well. I battle with him every day, all day long. And people don't want to self-reflect on themselves, and so on and so forth. It's all about me, 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 the great gratification, and they get on these damn phones and they just stuff their face in a phone, breathing and listening and bringing in more propaganda. Instead of opening the good book and reading, opening their heart and their soul to God and the Holy Spirit to welcome it in, well, they'd rather not do that. That's inconvenient. That means you might have to sacrifice something. You might have to sacrifice some of what you want to do. That's right. But you don't want to sacrifice anything. Jesus knew he's going to have sacrifice. God sent him here to sacrifice. They knew it. You, they lie to you and tell you all kinds of bullshit and tell you what a good person you are, how you're going to get into heaven and all this and that stuff, and they're lying to you. It takes a lot more than what you're thinking. You know, Jesus used a parable like he does in a lot of cases. And the master of the house left. He gave one of them like 4 shillings, another 3 shillings, one 2 or 1 shilling, according to their ability. He comes back and first one invested it and doubled it. Good job. Second one, same thing, invested it, maybe not doubled it, but invested, still made some. A good job. Come to the last one, and he just buried it in the ground, went and got in here. He goes, what? What's this? Well, that's what you gave me. I didn't lose it. Didn't make anything, didn't lose it. And he looks at him and goes, well, you could at least put it in the bank or made some interest on it or something. Instead, you went and buried it. Well, that's kind of like your faith. You kind of buried it. You're not growing it. You're not moving forward. He didn't have an ability, like most. I mean, the only way I see Trump losing is if they try to steal this thing, and they're going to. You know they will. They're good. They're already up to their bullshit right now. Is I cannot believe in my heart of hearts that there's that many people in this country that are that ignorant and that stupid to vote for someone that is not qualified. I mean, nothing prepares you to be president of the United States. Nothing does. But you have people that have been in situations and have done things and have an ability to adapt, move forward, blah, blah, blah. People like Trump, they've had that. They've built that. Oh, sure, as he went bankrupt, hell yeah, a lot of rich people went bankrupt and they've come back. Why? Well, that's what they do. They gamble. I mean, you don't get rich like that, not gamble. I mean, some people say, oh, no, they can make an educated, decision on this or that, and blah, blah, blah. That's just some asshole trying to get money from you. Fact of the matter is, it's all gambling. You could have the best location in the whole world. I mean, the best in the whole world, best location in the whole world. You have a major disease or major depression set in, and that location on something is not, it's nothing. It's just. And that building or whatever you're building or planning for that location ruins you. But in good times, it would have been hell of a deal. Made you a lot of money. And Trump, he sits there and he explains it to people, and people are that stupid and can't understand what he's saying. Well, the indoctrination centers, the government training centers, have done their job. I mean, think about it. China was getting ready to build this car manufacturer down in Mexico. 200% tariff. Well, they said, no, wait a minute here, let's stop. John Deere's going to go lay off a bunch of people, move out, put 200% tariff on you. Well, John Deere said, no, let's not do that right now. They're all taking a wait and see attitude. And then they say, oh, Trump, because everything comes from China, he's going to be all these big tariffs on everything. Okay, good. Why? Because a lot of these companies that are making stuff in China is going to move back here, but it's going to be cheaper to manufacture their goods with American labor. That's right. It's American everything. And people don't understand that. To create jobs, creates economies. And the other thing is this. Energy prices are going to drop. He's going to build all kinds of nuclear plants, drill oil out the wazoo, sell the surpluses, and make a lot of money there too. Put people to work. All you people are sitting there on a pension, teacher pension, government pension especially. You better hope somebody like Donald Trump gets in office, because you're sitting back going, oh, I got a pension. Well, under Harris, you won't have one. You won't have an economy. She's too stupid. These people are destroying this country. They want a one world order. It's going there anyways. Trump may prolong it. Maybe that's why we were destroyed, is because Trump gets in there and America won't bow. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd rather be destroyed than to capitulate and go along with that bullshit. A lot of men fought in the wars, especially World War II. Why? Because they don't want to live under damn Nazis. They don't want to live like that. They'd rather die. Well, thank God they did what they did. But hopefully, Trump will be able to get rid of these damn wars, do away with them. There's no winners there. The only people that are winning is Wall Street. And these people that are pushing the wars. Bombs are expensive, people. Planes are expensive. All this stuff's expensive, and somebody's making a lot of money. And then the money they ship around the world and send to this and send to that, it's getting pilferaged and stolen and everything else. So you actually think, no. You don't want war. You don't want to be killing your fellow human, your brothers and sisters. You don't want that. No one wants that. Well, I should take that back. Some crazy sons of bitches do. We should be helping each other. We should be helping everybody in the whole world. Everybody should have a roof over their head, have shelter, food in their belly, good food in their belly, not some crap, and good, clean water and sanitation. That's the basics. And then they should have health care on top of it. Should have that. Everyone should have that. Throughout the whole world. Of course, when God comes back, that won't mean anything. You have a totally different body, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it'll be spiritual, and all that stuff won't mean nothing. So before you go out and vote, and I don't care who you're voting for. I mean, Kamala gets in, so be it. Trump gets in, good. don't care one way. Well, I do care one way or another, but if she gets in, she gets in. They had to cheat to do it. Hopefully, it'll be exposed. Somebody will go to prison this time. But no reason to get in an uproar about things. I can't change it. Would I if I could? I don't know. Because it's God's divine intervention. Am I to say, am I to change what God's will is? That's what I said a long time ago. I mean, are you supposed to bring people back to life if you had that ability to just bring people back to life when God's already said your time's up? Am I undermining God if I had that ability to raise people from the dead? Say, and that's what the problem is. I'd rather not undermine God. But I'm not that smart, and God don't talk to me. I don't hear voices. I don't have visions. None of that stuff, okay? These people that get on here and tell you all this, that, and the other thing, man, just like the preppers, I'm going to sell you this, I'm going to sell you that. Listen, it's prudent to have some food around. It's prudent to have some stuff around, like water. It's prudent. You don't want to be a fool and a moron. But do you need, I don't know, 20 years worth of food? I mean, do you need solar panels? Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you're a sitting duck. Everybody's looking around, you got lights on. Well, that's your target. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Well, I know what to tell you, but you don't want to hear it, so I'll get off here. I'm running long anyways. Y'all take care and get out and vote. And I don't care who you're voting for. You just get out and make sure you vote one way or another.